don't have control over our child on the spectrum. We don't. The only thing we have control over is the different therapies we give him, the education plan we put in place, his diet. That's it. It's their journey. It's at their speed. And that is the most difficult part of this journey. My name is Dina Kimmel, and I'm owner and founder of We Rock the Spectrum Kids Gym for All Kids. When I was 3 months pregnant, I remember my daughter, she was misbehaving, and I was called to her school, and I said, oh God, what is she doing? What is she doing? Well, sure enough, her teachers had called me in to tell me that she was the only child in the school that would play with this little boy with autism, and that was my introduction to autism. Little did I know I was 3 months pregnant with our son, who was going to be on the spectrum as well. Well, when Gabriel was born, from the beginning, he had, if you look back now, all of the symptoms. He was born premature. He was huge. You wouldn't think that he was born premature, but he was huge. But he couldn't digest food. He cried all the time. And what do people tell you? They tell you, oh, well, it's a baby, he's colicky. But I knew something was wrong. The difficulty began in the beginning with Gabriel. No sleep, not eating, throwing up all the time. It was hard. It was very, very difficult. When Gabriel was 18 months old, I took him to his first Mommy and Me class. I was so excited, and some of my friends were gonna be in the same class, and we went and they sang, and all of a sudden the music started, and that was it. Gabriel put his hands over his ears, he was screaming, he was crying, he wasn't following the leader like the other kids were, and I went home and I said to my husband, there is something wrong with our son. And I took him to the pediatrician, who in fact, she herself said there's nothing wrong with Gabriel, that he's fine. I said, he's not answering to his name though. He's not smiling when other people look at him, only when I hold him. So that was the tricky thing. So there's the stigma on, okay, well, every child with autism is not gonna be affectionate. That's not true. If you've met one child with autism, you've met one child with autism. They are each very, very different. And that's the difficult part in the medical industry. I have compassion for these doctors because they get blamed for, you know what, you didn't catch my child's diagnosis, but they're all different. Gabriel was easy to miss, I will tell you. So Gabriel, when he was 20 months, I began speech therapy, and he had his eval, and it was unbelievable. So I said to the speech pathologist at the time, so do you think he's on the autism spectrum? Because I was doing some research and looking at his symptoms. She said to me, do you think he's on the autism spectrum? I said, wait, isn't that your job? Oh, I don't know, we'll have to see. I said, okay, next. And then I went on to another speech therapist, okay? And this is now the journey of it as an autism parent. You have to keep trying different doctors, different methods. And I'm so glad that I listened to that gut. And now his speech therapist is still the same speech therapist he had 8 years ago. She told me, you know what, Dina, I can't continue doing speech therapy with him until he gets OT. And what's OT? It's occupational therapy. Gabriel has sensory processing disorder also, which is very, very difficult. And actually 1 out of 6 kids now are diagnosed with it. It's unbelievable. So per her request, I hired an OT therapist. She was very organic, so she would come in and work in our home with him. And she said, Dina, he's never gonna progress unless he is on this equipment every single day. And I said, tell me, what should I do? What do I do? She goes, I would make a little mini gym, in your house. And so, well, that's all you have to say to Dina Kimmel. I took all of the furniture out of my bedroom. I put holes in the ceilings. I hung swings. Being on this sensory equipment, it regulated his body, it calmed him. Gabriel started sleeping better. He started eating better. And the true miracle was our daughter Sophia, who is not on the autism spectrum, started playing with Gabriel, and he started playing with her. And the miracles continue to happen. And I said to my husband, okay, this is unbelievable. There have to be other people out there like us. This is a gift. We need to pay it forward. We need to. And he said, Dina, what are you thinking about? And I said, let's open up a gym. Let's do this. Let's bring this to our community. I know the miracles that this did for our family. It's a very lonely diagnosis in the beginning. It doesn't matter if you have an amazing husband like I do or friends, no one truly understands. And back in 8 years ago, there wasn't the support. There was no resources for people to reach out to. I will never forget this moment because Gabriel was 2.5, almost 3, and Sophia was 5, and we had an OT therapist from the state come to our home. And my daughter said to me in front of her, she said, I wish I had autism too, Mommy. I said, Sophia, what do you mean? She said, I wish I had autism too. Look at Gabriel, he has all this attention, all these therapists are coming in. And that's when I said, okay, this is it. I knew she needed something also. And so with We Rock the Spectrum Kids Gym, she had something of her own also. This is how it evolved. And what you see behind you is We Rock the Spectrum Kids Gym, our flagship gym here in Tarzana. From the moment the doors opened, our lives changed forever. In a matter of 3 weeks, boom, the community heard about it. And all of a sudden, all of the autism associations and different organizations and families came out of their homes and we were packed. It was a miracle. And now, 3 years later, 7 years since this first We Rock the Spectrum Kids Gym opened, we have over 70 locations in 5 countries and we are still growing. Truly what it tells you is the need for what we have, which is full inclusion. This has become no longer my mission, this is a global movement. And it's a miracle to watch these kids. I am so humbled by this experience to see these families, and every single time they come to me and they hug me and say, thank you so much, Dina, for being brave. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for bringing this to our city. And I just say, thank you for being here. I keep everything in perspective. It's God, family, and we rock for me. And I feel like that's why this mission works. This is built out of love. So my passion, I realized, is not just being an advocate here in my Tarzana gym. 24/7, I want to be able to reach families. Whether they are on the road or in their homes, it's really important to me that they have what I didn't have. And what is that? It's hope. It's really, really important to know that it's going to get better. It's going to get easier. Just last week, I put a video of my son Gabriel. He was in camp and he was leading this whole group of kids, how to do the whip and nay-nay. It was so cute. I put it up on Facebook and of course me, myself, I cried. I said, oh my goodness, that's my son, 10 years old, 8 years into this journey, just visits Autism Land right now. It's not 24/7. That's it, it's hope. That is what Rocking the Spectrum is going to do, a special needs resource network for everyone.